Every butcher in Medora would be horrified by this.
Good thing they aren't here to see it. They couldn't sell any of this meat anyway. It's tainted.
It hasn't been out long enough to spoil. I've treated wounds swarming with more flies than that deer has attracted.
If I am correct, then this animal bears the mark of undeath.
Meaning what?
Meaning if you ate any of this meat, you would soon be rotting alongside it.
Lovely.
With any luck, I'll soon be able to confirm my suspicions as to what has been doing the killings in this area.
Why don't you just use the Bestiary to see what it was through the deer's eyes?
The spell only works on humans.
It worked on the wretch and the Wendigo.
Both of which were once human. Besides, if I find what I'm looking for, there'll be no need to use the Bestiary.
Care to enlighten me?
You really should have stayed in the village.
Yes. Well, I shot the offer down when we were there, didn't I? Lay out the facts.
The townsfolk have been reporting wailing at night for the past 2 months. A pair of guards went to investigate and were found dead the next morning. Their corpses were pale, as if drained of blood, though no wounds were found on the bodies. This deer seems to have met with the same moonspawn. This evidence led me to suspect that our culprit is a Banshee. Banshees kill their victims by reaching through their chest and closing an icy hand around their heart. It leaves no wound or scar, save for blackening the heart itself. Take a look.
How?
Undeath is a blight upon this land. Those that dabble in it are toying with a power that does nothing but corrupt.
All right. How do we kill it?
I don't recall.
Well, that's not ideal.
I have never had the opportunity to hunt a Banshee myself. Fortunately, Edorin did. He recorded an entry in the Bestiary. Grab it from my pouch. I'd rather not bloody it.
Sure. How is this thing organized?
The moonspawn entries are at the front. My own additions are at the back.
Sounds like you could use some more review.
I find my memory is more keen on remembering my own experiences over those conjured through the written word.
Here it is. Looks like your memory isn't so bad after all. Shall I read it to you?
Please do.
Sometimes, when a spirit is not ready to leave this world, it remains here. According to references from ancient texts, this wasn't uncommon in the old world. Ghosts would regularly remain in the mortal realm to deal with lingering regrets before peacefully passing on. Now these restless spirits become trapped by the monster moon. Its gaze corrupts them by preying upon their fear. Banshees make their kills by grasping at the hearts of their victims, yearning to feel the warmth of life in a vain hope to rekindle a spark of their own. In my experience, they retain their consciousness, but as the night draws on, their fear of what awaits beyond the veil burns away any sense of reason they possess and drives them to try to kill. A lethal attribute they possess is their ethereal form. It makes hunting or fleeing from them nigh impossible, as they can and will chase after any living thing that crosses their path. There are methods to protect oneself from a banshee. Naturally, runes can drive them away, but even something as simple as torchlights will keep them at bay for a time. What once offered warmth and safety seemed to temporarily remind banshees of the person they used to be. Slaying a banshee is a more difficult task than surviving an encounter with one. No weapon, runic or otherwise, can strike that which is untouchable. The only thing that can kill a banshee are the warm rays of the morning sun.
They retain their consciousness.
That's what it says. It seems tough to kill one of these. I think I've seen one of these before.
That would be surprising. They are incredibly rare, and not many untrained individuals survive the encounter.
It was during a monster moon. A mother died giving birth to a child despite father's best efforts. As usual on such nights, it was born disfigured, monstrous, and dead. We couldn't save the mother either. The next night, I heard wails outside. I poked my head out of the window and caught a glimpse of a spectral figure that looked much like the mother. It clawed at the home in which the widower now lived alone. I always thought it was the nature of the birth that caused the moonspawn to appear, but now, I wonder if she still lingers there.
Come. Let us head back to the town and rest within the safety of its ruins. We'll return shortly before sunrise.
What's your plan? Edarin's notes clearly state that we can't fight a Banshee.
First, I want to try determining who the spirit of the Banshee belongs to. Presuming the Elder has his documentation in order, we should be able to determine which deaths were caused by the Banshee.
And which death was the last one that occurred before it manifested?
Thus determining who this spirit is.
That's an intriguing line of thought. I don't quite see how knowing who the Banshee is helps us, though.
We're going to talk to it. Knowing who died will allow us to prepare a conversation tailored to their interests.
You think that'll work?
They may not listen to reason, but they do retain their consciousness. At least in part. If we come here just before the crack of dawn and stop them from retreating to their hiding place, we can put the soul to rest and save any more villagers from meeting this fate.
Maybe I will sit this one out. I doubt I'll be of any use against a creature like this.
Actually, I was hoping you'd accompany me. I don't trust my ability to distract the Banshee as long as I need to. You, on the other hand, might just have what it takes. Can I count on you?
I don't know.
We have enough time to investigate. Once we know who the Banshee is, we can ask about the life they left behind. Surely mention of their friends and family will draw their ear. Then, we need only keep it distracted for a short time until the sun rises.
Okay, let's do it.
Once more.
Really?
Preparedness is critical to survival. This review is beneficial to both of us.
Actually, I think it's only useful to you, old man. I can remember things without needing a drill sergeant to hammer them into my brain.
Well, until it reveals itself, we have time to spare. Once more.
Fine. According to the Elder, the Banshee is the spirit of Melly, the baker's daughter. She was 10 summers old. Her father said that Melly liked to paint. It was a hobby that he encouraged despite how much the pigments cost. She was quite talented for her age. The villagers were all quite fond of her spirited ways. Then a little over 2 months ago, she was struck ill by a case of bog rot that she never recovered from. Satisfied?
Are you ready?
This feels wrong.
It's just another monster.
Do you really see it so plainly?
I fail to see how else this situation can be interpreted.
She's a child. Maybe she is a moonspawn now. But if Edarin's notes are true and they maintain some memory of who they are, maybe we can do something to help her.
Elise, whoever Melly used to be is irrelevant. She isn't that little girl anymore. That hint of a memory is nothing more than a weakness we can exploit. We can't allow this remnant of her to twist the memory of who she was any further.
But we haven't even tried anything else to save her. We're jumping to execution when there could be another solution.
There is no other solution when dealing with undeath. Once its claws have sunk into someone, there is no coming back.
What is it about undeath that upsets you so much?
I realize that what I'm asking of you is no easy task. If you wish to turn back now, I would understand.
No, this has to be done. I understand that. I just wish there was another way. One that didn't involve this deception.
Whatever gets the job done.
That's it, isn't it?
Here it comes.
I'm not afraid. Spirit, we've come to speak with you.
Show yourself.
Cold. Alone. So cold.
Elise, stay back.
You. Warm. Give warmth.
Do you remember your name?
Name.
Your name was Melly.
Melly.
That's right. Melly. It must be awful being out here by yourself in the dark all night long. I'm Elise. I'm here to help you.
Help me. Help me.
Elise, don't get near it.
Melly, do you remember Flower?
Flower?
That was your dog. Her fur was the same color as the flour your father used to make bread. You used to play with her all day long until both of you were covered in mud. Your father wouldn't let you inside the house until after both of you had washed in the lake.
I remember.
Do you remember how soft and fluffy she was? When you found her, she was just a puppy. Your father said you couldn't keep her, but you wouldn't listen. Every night, you would sneak out of your window and search for her. When you found her, you'd scoop her up and bring her back to your bed, where she would be safe. Eventually, your father relented and let you keep her. At night, you would rest your head on her instead of your pillow, and you would lie very still so she wouldn't move.
I miss Flower.
She misses you too, Melly. Every night, she still sleeps on your bed where your pillow used to be.
I want Flower.
I know. I can't imagine how terribly lonely you must be. I want to make you feel better, okay? I'm a doctor. I'm going to try to make all the pain go away. You just need to listen to me talk. Can you do that for me?
Listen.
Just like that. You're doing so good. There's a little hill just north of the village. On top of that hill is an apple tree that blocks the heat of the sun. Little birdies make their nests and sing their sweet songs for the whole village to hear. From atop that hill, you can see the river that runs down from the mountains and into the lake. If you turned around, you would see all the houses of your home and the forest right next to it.
Painting.
That's right. It was your favorite place to paint. You would sit there for hours with Flower, just thinking of what you wanted to put onto your canvas. Some days you didn't even get your brush wet.
Sunset.
The sunset was your favorite thing to paint. You weren't allowed to stay out very late because of all the scary monsters that came out at night. But you always watched the sunset. The warm glow of purple and orange across the grass was so beautiful. You eventually painted the sunset. It took you weeks, and you cried because you didn't have all the right colors. But your father loved it so much, he had it mounted in your house, and whenever someone came over for dinner, he would go on about it for hours.
Where, Father?
Your father wanted to come talk to you, Melly. He did. But the monsters won't let him. We came here to tell you that he says he loves you very much. He wants to hold you and cradle you like he did whenever you were scared. Do you remember the song he used to sing to you when you couldn't sleep? Why do you weep, little sparrow? Is it because of winter's breath? The cold may knock, the wind may bite. Fear not, little sparrow. Hold fast against the night. Fear not, for spring follows, winter as sure as dawn does dusk.
It's nearly sunrise.
I am so sorry, Melly. Nobody should be brought to suffer as you have.
Not fair.
No, it isn't. Not at all.
Make it better.
I will, I promise. I have one more thing I want to tell you. I just need you to listen for a little bit longer, okay? On your 8th birthday, your father took you in his arms early in the morning. So early, in fact, that it was still dark out. You were frightened because you weren't allowed to go outside when it was still dark. That was when the monsters were out. Your father walked you to the edge of town and up the hill to the apple tree. It was so cold that early in the morning. But you didn't hear monsters growling or see shapes shifting in the shadows. Instead, you heard the birds coming out from hiding to sing their morning songs.
Pretty birdies.
You didn't know why your father took you to the top of the hill so early in the morning. You were tired and cold and scared. But when you asked, He simply told you to quietly wait and watch. Do you remember what you waited for?
Sun. Warm.
The purple glow it cast across the landscape was the prettiest thing you'd ever seen. You painted it 12 times, and even that wasn't enough for you. Every day for months after that, you asked your father to show you another sunrise. But he said there were too many monsters. Do you want to see another sunrise, Melly?
Yes.
Come with me.
Don't get too close.
The night is almost over, Melly. When the sun rises and the warmth washes over you, all the pain and fear will go away. And when it comes, you'll never have to leave the light again. You can paint it as many times as you want. Doesn't that sound nice? Just look to the east. That's it.
It's warm. It hurts. Why?
Just keep watching, Melly. It'll be over soon.
I don't want it to be over.
I know. Just listen to the birds, Melly. They're singing a lullaby to help you sleep.
No! No! Liar, it hurts. I won't go.
Elise, get back!
Your warmth. Give it to me.
Dedris!
Go!
I'm sorry, Melly. I tried. Are you okay?
I'm alive. What did you do?
The sun didn't quite reach her, so I had to reflect it off one of Father's surgical mirrors.
Well done. I'm sorry you had to do that.
Yeah, me too.
But the town is safe now, and thanks to you, I am still alive. Her spirit is now at peace.
We could have found another way.
There wasn't one.
You don't know that. You don't. You said yourself that you hardly know anything about banshees. We could have figured something out.
The risks were too great. Take solace in the fact that we've made the world a safer place.
And yet, it is worse off for it.
It's them or us with their kind, Elise.
She was a little girl.
She was a moonspawn. You saw her face in those last moments. The fury. The hatred. That wasn't the face of a child. Have you forgotten that she killed 2 men? Melly wouldn't do that, but a monster certainly would. I do wish we could have done more to help her. But Melly died 2 months ago, Elise. This was just a shattered memory of the person she once was.
Let's get moving.
Wait.
Please, Dedris. I need some time with my thoughts.
Very well. That much I can understand.
Thank you very much for watching today's episode of Bestiary of a Nighthunter. Thank you very much to those of you who have decided to support this project on Patreon, with a specific shout out to Kyle Datu and Bridget.